Congratulations. If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us. If you...
How is everyone doing today? I appreciate everyone tuning in on this Monday. What was that, Jeff? Say that again.
If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us. If you...
How's everyone doing today? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Something major happened today. Something major announcement. We're going to go all over it. We're going to go up it. We're going to go down it. We're going to go left. We're going to go left. English. We're going to speak English. Can somebody look into the TTS? No, terms of service. Can somebody look up if I'm allowed to show a knife on stream? Am I allowed to show a hunting knife on stream? My hunting utility knife? I don't think I'm allowed, am I? All right, Sir Jex, it's his birthday.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Sir Jex. Nice to see you. Let's reset this because that was from days ago. This was days ago. There we go. So today on the show, we're talking about DLSS 5. DLSS 5 has been announced by Nvidia tonight. I don't think I'm allowed to show my hunting utility, am I? It's fake, but my hunting utility came in. I don't know if I could show it completely, but it is the Scream hunting utility version. Look at this thing. It's badass. So when we go hunting, I now have a hunting utility knife. Am I allowed to show this? Is anyone... If somebody can look it up, I don't know if I'm allowed to show it. I really don't. But, you know. I don't know. I don't think I am. Well, look. It's, Am I? I don't know. Well, I'm just saying. So, you know, I got this because it's from Scream. So this is the actual hunting utility thing from Scream. I'm not going to say it out loud. There you go. Now, it's actually from Scream. This is literally from Scream. It's a replica from Scream. Look at it. It's pretty fancy. So that showed up. So thank you to everyone that supported the stream. Now when we go hiking, I have my utility thing with me. So thank you for that. Actually, it's a really good hunting utility knife. Yeah, I held it dainty on purpose because I didn't want to look scary. Just say it's a movie collector knife? Well, technically it is too. I actually ordered 2 of them because I'm going to put one of them with my Scream mask that I have signed by Nev Campbell. So, how is everyone doing today? It's Monday. We're back. We're probably going to do a 3-hour stream, 2-hour stream today because we're going to debate something. There's going to be a lot of arguments happening today because if you don't know the news, Nvidia has revealed DLSS 5. And while most people are excited about it on the internet, there's some people, I'd say 90% of people that have seen what DLSS 5 does, they're not happy with this because essentially it's taking the artist's creativity and masking it with an AI filter. At least that's what people are arguing. So we're going to look into it in a bit. I've got it all ready and we're going to discuss this because I actually can't believe how good it looks, but it also looks like AI slop. So it's hard to really debate it. So I'll show it quickly here without audio. Look at this. So that's off and that is on. DLSS 5 on. That doesn't even look like her. So people are just saying essentially that this is an AI filter that is essentially taking the, from my understanding, what's happening with DLSS 5, which we'll get into in a bit, is that it's Yeah, it's essentially re-rendering all of the lighting on the faces of characters, but within the world. So look, that's before, that's after, before, after. Are you... Now, lots of people are just saying, a lot of people are saying that this looks like an AI filter job. And while it's easy to just say that, we're going to go through this. And, you know, as long as their website's not working, right? But that's great. Wait, why is their website not working? So let's see if this is a different video. It's the same video. I don't know why they did that. That makes no sense. So here's more examples, guys. So I'm convinced that a lot of people are not going to want to play with this on because of the AI. But, I mean, it's also doing a lot to the background as well. Like, look at the difference. That's a huge, huge, huge difference, man. Click here to load a full screen. This is a 4K full screen render of what the difference is. That is what we were playing essentially with on Sunday. And this is what it's going to look like after the fact. I don't know how to feel about this. Look at her hand. Look at the hand detail. You can also notice there's hand detail. But it's really her eyes. It changes everything about the character. I mean, is that what Grace is supposed to look like? Like, is that approved by Capcom? Those are the questions I have. You know, I don't know the answer to it. Then if you go down here, this one's absolutely insane. This is off. This is on. That is a huge difference. Especially with the rendering on the eyeballs. You know, you could kind of see the soul in her eyes there. How do you guys feel about this so far? This is Leon before and after. Let's see if there's any other cool comparisons here. Hogwarts Legacy, I think this one right here is the example that makes people go, that's just AI. Guys, look at how bad that looks. That unfortunately looks like AI upscaling trash. That one does. But I don't know how to feel about this. I really don't know how to feel about this. I'm kind of torn between thinking it does look good. Here's 4K resolution Leon before and after. That's off. That's on. That's a huge difference, guys. So this is coming out in the fall. What do you guys think about this? Okay, Carl says the lighting looks pretty fucking good in there. It does. It does look really good. So this is coming to the 50 series. So if you have a 50 Nvidia 50, you're going to be able to upgrade this in the fall. Why can't they get the exact frames, says Vol? I don't know. That's another issue that is weird about this. D, it says it makes it look realistic. It's not that good. Ace is basically saying it's disgusting. Well, the reason why people are upset with this is because this is an AI technology. It's re-rendering, essentially, not the assets. It's re-rendering in real time the lighting effects to the graphics. So they're not messing, according to Nvidia, they're saying that they're not messing whatsoever with the actual assets from the game. But I hate to say this, this looks like it's messing with the assets. Like, look at her. This is a totally different character model, it looks like. So do we have this in 4K? Why wouldn't they? Yeah, okay, they do. So here's before and after. I don't know, man. This looks like an AI job. It's like making its own assets up. Look at this. So the reason why this image doesn't look terrible is because the contrast ratio. So in filmmaking, there's something called the contrast ratio. And essentially, we're talking about how dark something is versus how light something is. And in filmmaking, that's why my show here and this camera looks so good normally. I mean, right now I have it set up to kind of blow out both sides of my face. Normally, if I want to show you guys a demo of what contrast ratio is, I would turn this off on this side. And then I would turn that light and you would see it's only on half my face. It's hard for me to show. Well, here's contrast ratio with color. So contrast ratio in filmmaking is all about lighting the subject correctly to get the 3D effect. So when you look at me on screen right now, you'll notice that the right side of my face here is completely blown out by the light. This side's dark. That's going to contrast, or sorry, that's the contrast ratio that I'm trying to project to the viewer, which gives it a 3D element, right? Because if you just bake in lighting effect like they did right here, the contrast ratio on her is not great. You know, it depends where she's standing in the scene. But what I'm getting at is the contrast ratio on this scene, you'll notice that half of her face is dark, the other side is light. It looks like this technology is not great when it is at a higher contrast ratio, meaning a very bright area and a very dark area. So Grace right here, you'll notice that she's pretty much a flat image there. The lighting is very flat. So when you go over it, it looks okay because it's both sides. We got a top projected light on her. But it does look like when we get into more of a brighter face, we're losing that dark area on the right side that creates that realistic 3D cinematic look that you get from cinema, and it replaces it with AI garbage. Look on the right side now. On her cheek on the bottom right here, you shouldn't see that brightness there. You're catching the light on the side here of her wrinkles. It shouldn't be that bright. It really shouldn't be that bright. Because look at it here. We get that contrast ratio. Look, light source is on her wand. It's on this side.
Well, I definitely know what isn't a flat image, and it's 6.7 inches of Italian meat.
Well, that is true. So, you guys get my point here. The contrast ratio for this filter is not great. It's doing something to the image, man. Mike has been a member now for 54 months.
I have a golden turd. Bow down, peasants.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the support. Let me turn that down. That's too bright.
I'm tired of these data centers raising my power bill. AI is a bubble, and it's going to bust, taking the economy with it like home loans did in 8-9.
Yeah. I mean, that's... the future of gaming is AI, and the proof is right here. Raw Dakota, it's like... either you're going to use this feature and not give a shit about the AI adjustments that are happening in real time here. Like I just explained contrast ratio. You know, really good films, if you go back and watch them, the contrast ratio is incredible in those films, right? Now, I on purposely make it so I'm pretty much bright on this side and bright on this side of my face. But like I just showed you here, here's a prime example of DLSS 5 completely ruining the cinematic vibe of a video game because it can't handle, or I should say it doesn't understand contrast ratio. So again, look at the bottom of her cheek on this side. You guys see my cursor, her ears. Look at the bottom of her cheek. Now, when we go to the DLSS on, all of a sudden you lose that contrast ratio. Her whole face is blown out now. So they're showing examples over and over and over about this. And, you know, cinematic... Here's another version of contrast ratio. On the left side of his face, you're obviously seeing some sort of light that's coming from candlelight. And on the right side of his face, you're seeing a light that's coming from the moon. On the character on the back right here, you're seeing the moon lighting the right side of this guy's face. Look at his nose. Look at his right cheek or his left cheek. Now watch what happens when DLSS 5 gets turned on. Watch the dynamic ratio change completely. This character now goes from a cinematic look in a proper lighting environment to, nope, you lose a major part of that contrast ratio because it's not correct now. That moonlight is way too fucking overbright on the right side of his face. That's not right. Like, look on the right side here. You're not seeing that on that side. I honestly just feel like this is ruining gaming to a degree. Again, it looks good sometimes, but here, contrast ratio here is not really a big deal because she's sitting in an office. You'll notice her cheek on the bottom left here is a little bit darker. That's creating the 3D effect. That's what you want to see in gaming. You want to see a contrast ratio light to dark like that. Good games are going to utilize the lighting to create cinematic experiences. So watch what happens. Watch what happens right now.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at her all right.
There you go.
Often.
You're getting a contrast ratio that I just don't agree with this filter. So Siegfried, thank you, my friend. He says, "Oh, I'm looking right at her."
Eee.
You know, in this scene though, I'll say this: it doesn't look terrible. You know, it's not as bad as when we saw Outside. But here's another example. Right here on her head. That source is coming from the ceiling. You can assume right here is the source light. We can see the source. We know where it's coming from. So there's obviously an overhead light. What happens when we turn it on? That source light on her head, depending on how she is facing, still looks good, but now it's completely overpowered and over sharp. I just don't like it. Now, when it's in a darker mood, a darker setting, she's under the bridge here, it's raining, this doesn't look terrible. I'll give it that. This seems to be the best example of what DLSS 5 can do. However, it's also changing her complete look. It's changing her eyes. It's changing her lips. If you notice very closely, her bottom lip here is becoming a little bit fatter and we're getting a more streamlined sort of puffiness on the top of her lip. Watch. That's a huge difference. So look at her lips. This here's a prime example of where it looks good. But in the actual video, her lips change. In this, they don't. So that's another reason I wanted to bring up something here. Is what we're seeing real in that video, or is that fake? Because here's a 1-to-1 image. This just looks like an AI filter. And it looks like we're not getting a major change to the actual assets. But in that video I just showed you, her lips physically change proportions. Watch. Her lip right here is pretty straight, guys. Look how straight that is. It's pretty straight across. When you go over it, look at the dynamic change there. All of a sudden, it's the puffiness on the top, on the left and right side that's not present on the left side. And then watch right here, bottom lip. Watch bottom lip. It protrudes further on the bottom side of her lip now. Now, my question is that what Capcom wants with their characters? You know what I mean? Like, we're getting into the gray area of DLSS 5 now. I don't know if it's causing more definition, which changes the actual shadows, which makes the lips look different, but it looks completely fucking different. Like, really different, to the point where a lot of people on Twitter are losing their minds about this, saying basically, that doesn't look like Grace at all. How are you guys feeling about this? So thank you, Astro Zombie. I appreciate it. He says, yeah, that definitely wasn't a flat image. Thank you, dude. Mike McCarthy's been a member for 54 months now. Says, I have a golden turd. He's the only one in chat that has the golden turd. Let's pull that up. Watch. Does it show it right here? No, it doesn't show it when it does that. So
I have a golden turd. Bow down, peasants.
He does. So, the golden turd, you have to be a member for like over 2 or 3 years or something. Something crazy. Raw Dakota says, I'm getting tired of these data centers raising my power bill. AI bubble, it's going to burst. We're going to find out, man, because this DLSS is coming out from my understanding, this fall. So my question to you guys now is, what do you guys think? You guys excited about this? I really don't think so. It looks, yeah, here's a good example of what I wanted to bring up. Nightbreaker says that. He says it looks unauthentic, essentially. Like, it's not looking like the artist's actual vision. So that is Grace before ray tracing and all. This is Grace after DLSS 5. Is that what Grace is supposed to look like? I don't know. It, like, she suddenly looks like a supermodel. Now, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I don't mind when characters look incredibly attractive in gaming. But that is like, that's pushing it, isn't it? Like, I don't know why they did this video like this, because Grace does not look like Grace. That looks like a fucking AI supermodel image imposed on top of her. All right, Marie says, why would Nvidia show that? It looks bad. All right, Zelda Blue is here. Who else do we have here? Black Sheep is liking it. Black Sheep is on the side of liking DLSS 5. Black Sheep, you like this? I don't know how to feel about it. I'm on the fence right now. How do you guys feel? Only Astro says they're just adding an AI filter, which a lot of people are arguing on Twitter about. Like, you guys should see Twitter right now. It's like, it's absolutely insane what's happening on Twitter. You know? Here's some more people on Twitter right now. Rhino saying, why is everyone upset about this? Discuss, be honest. I don't know. He's kind of riding the fence there. But this guy right here is super, super popular. He's basically saying, not a fan of DLSS 5 filter. It basically turns your games into AI slop, completely changes the original art direction. And I agree with him. It's changing it from what the developers essentially wanted it to be. Now, let me show you another example of something crazy. Here's an example of DLSS 5 in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Look at the difference, though. Look at it. That is pretty impressive. I don't know, man. It's hard to say if I want to use it or not. I mean, the shadow highlights... Sorry, the highlights and the lowlights on those trees in the background look incredible. The hair looks good. It looks like it does look good. I'm so... I don't know how to feel about this. Here we go. Right here. Digital Foundry has been talking about this all day. They're basically saying that they're in love with this. Digital Foundry is saying that they're in love with this. They're huge fans of it already. Here is, this is pretty funny. Super Mario DLSS off and then on. Nvidia just released this today. It's coming out this, you know, look at it. All of Twitter is going crazy. Tukako, as I call it, is saying it gives characters AI sloppy faces. Right there, again, another example of Grace before and after. I honestly think it, when you stop it, it does look like, that's funny. Now that one's good. I do feel like, now I don't know if this is real, this one, but look at that. Ugh. Twitter is absolutely losing their minds about this right now. Let's see some more here. I know that Tom Warden was basically saying he hates it. Here's what he's saying. He's saying, I can't get over the faces in DLSS 5. This is supposed to be a 15-year-old student. I agree with him. It's changing the dynamics of the games now. That's supposed to be a 15-year-old boy. It looks like a 30-year-old man now. Here, again, here's what he says here. DLSS 5 looks like Gen AI for video games. Grace looks completely different when it's turned on. She does. I'm not going to deny it. Thank you. Who's just subbed? Mr. MD, appreciate you tuning in. Thank you, my friend. Let's look at some more people's... More of the backlash. That's what's happening here. I haven't seen this many people upset about DLSS ever. Like, the internet's pretty much divided here. People are basically saying it's an AI filter that's ruining PC gaming. Do you guys feel that way? Let's do a poll here. Will you use DLSS 5? Yes or no? Let's see in the chat here. I'm curious to see how many people... I wonder if my chat's 50-50 on this. Oh. The truth is coming out now. We're 85% no. 20% yes. That's actually... I thought it would be 50-50. I'm actually surprised. Mr. MD, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it, buddy. He says, I do not like DLSS 5. Imagine if the porn industry gets a hold of this technology, says Vapist in the chat. Vapist, my question to you is, do you like this? 16-bit Kev says... Oh yeah, we need to get Stellar Blade. We do need to get Stellar Blade with it. Could you imagine? Stellar Blade with this filter on? Woo. All right, True Blue Mike, thank you, says it's slop. Nightbreaker says YouTube is a disaster right now. Carl is saying she does look hotter. Mario Kart, how are you, buddy? Thank you for the...
It just feels like the devs behind this are just bored.
You know, that's a good point, man. When you actually look at this from that that perspective, yeah. It makes me wonder why Grace... It now makes Grace look terrible. Like, could you imagine Grace look like that just from the get-go? That would be an amazing experience, wouldn't it? Now, I want to say also, I'm not against what's up on screen right now with DLSS 5 off. I think it looks good, but then you turn it on and you go, oh, well, the game does look really good. That does look really good. But then you get to stuff like I just showed you here. This looks terrible. Look at how bad that looks. She looks like an AI slop image, man. It's not doing a good job there whatsoever. And then you get to the second. That's supposed to be a 15-year-old boy. All of a sudden, he's 30. So Banshee says if the AI can't render the authentic, artistic vision, then it defeats the purpose. Which, yes, it does make people look older. So Grace here looks like she's what? How old is Grace in the game here? Like 26, 7 maybe? Not even? And then all of a sudden, yeah, Grace is just like a 30-year-old woman with makeup. This is now the autistic version of Grace. Well, by the way, It's obvious that Grace in the game has autism. And I'm not saying that as a joke. Grace in the game, as her character, she has severe autism in the game. 110%. There's no doubt about that. I'm not making fun of that with that joke. But look at it. That is just, you know, I can't wait for the crowd to come in here and be like, well, they're now sexualizing her. Well, no, they're not. That's what she would look like with makeup. But guys, I just don't think that's Grace anymore. Like, it changes everything about her. I just don't know how to feel about this. Mario Kart says it feels like the devs is just bored. Who does this benefit? Love you, Jay. Thank you, Mario Kart. By the way, you missed our Mario Kart stream. You missed it, you're fired. It's disgusting. So I also want to say the stream I did for Resident Evil the other day was extremely, and I mean extremely successful. Huge shout out to Chef Bezos, who's a goddamn legend out there. Huge shout out to him. Thank you for the support, dude. That was ridiculous. I mean, I'm blown away by that guy. And then last stream was just insane for everybody that normally supports me here. You guys are just ridiculous with my show lately. So I want to say January was such a bad month for me because I took so much time off. And you guys, thank you. You know, I appreciate the support so much. I can't believe, you know, the last couple of streams. Like Wicked Child, also last stream, Wicked Child, shout out to you as well. You were fucking insane. Were you guys here for that? I don't know if you guys were here for that, but it was ridiculous. All right. Nightbreaker says, yeah, she's supposed to be pretty dorky looking, and she's not. She's no longer dorky looking after that. That's great. That's Grace dorky looking. I think she looks pretty. But that's dorky Grace versus fucking supermodel Grace. It changes the whole artist vision. That's not a nerdy looking girl anymore. She's a fucking supermodel all of a sudden. That's not good for gaming, you know? And I'm not saying that characters like Stellar Blade aren't supposed to be sexualized and look sexy. She's definitely being sexualized in fucking Stellar Blade. I don't care about that stuff, to be honest with you. I don't care whatsoever. If they want the character to look sexy, go to town. If they want her to look dorky, go to town. But having a filter that essentially is taking a character that's supposed to be clearly very nerdy and making her look like a supermodel, that's changing the game. You know, now we're looking at her from
all I want is DLSS to make my games run better, not look different.
See, that is the huge thing. Twiz, thank you for the support. That's the good point that not a lot of people are talking about.
Oh, Chef Bezos, who deserve to pump loads and side check.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's supposed to be a fun time us talking about DLSS 5, and fucking Nightbreaker is telling my audience it's okay to pump loads into me. This is off the rails. I'm curious on how Banshee feels about this. And I'm also curious on how the one and only Vapist feels. He says, if it's going to filter this much, I don't think it's going to be saving you any frames per second if it's going to be running DLSS 5. Absolutely. So I'm curious, Vapist, how do you feel about this? Because you're the guy that always gives us the advice. I want to know if Vapist likes this or he's against it. Again, let's take a look at this video again. Here is the new DLSS 5. If you're just tuning in, Nvidia has a new filter that essentially changes the dynamics of the lighting. So here we go. Let's watch it together again.
Maybe DLSS 5 is trying to make real-time like cutscenes. I'm playing Re5 now and notice Grace's lips are thicker.
You're playing RE5 now and notice her... What? Also, why are you tipping that way, Drummer Cream? What happened? So again, that looks completely different, man. I don't like it. Now, does this change the vision of Starfield? Okay, that's what the character's supposed to look like. Now, obviously, we're talking about photorealistic versus computer graphics. And when we discuss that for a second, let me just bring up something here. The reason why I'm not a huge fan of this technology right now is because when you design a character, there's certain aspects and traits, visual traits of that character, and I just will go back right to this again. Grace is supposed to be an autistic, nerdy, 25, 30-year-old woman. I don't know how old she is. Do we know? We don't know. But she's supposed to be this extremely awkward woman. And she does play like that in the game. She's so awkward, the way she moves and interacts with the environment, the way she's scared of everything. But then all of a sudden, she goes from, okay, she's supposed to be 22, says Carl. Thank you, Carl. I love you, buddy. By the way, Drummer Cream, why are you donating with that? That's funny. I appreciate it. Thank you, though. But she's supposed to be this, like, nerdy girl. But then watch this. Well, hey, Justin, I'll read that in a second. Watch this all of a sudden. Supermodel. I think that's a major change that shouldn't be in the game. You know, before they announced this, they should have had Jeff Keighley come out and do this.
If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us.
All right. He says, let me say this. While I see it overrides the artistic vision in some cases, I also believe if used correctly, it can just bypass technology limitations to make realism look more realistic, which is a very good point. And that's the side I am on. I know that a lot of people are just going to write this off as AI slop. Drummer Cream. Drummer Cream.
Want to use it? Looks like a glorified Instagram filter implemented into GPU tech. Completely changes art for the worse. It really doesn't look right.
Yeah, I agree with Banshee on that one too, but then Just Whitely, he basically said if it's used correctly, some of this looks great, some that looks bad. By the way, Drummer Punk, are you okay for money? You need me to send you some?
Jay's pussy.
Dude, you've supported me. Do you need a loan? What's wrong? Now, we're going to watch Digital Foundry. They did a video here. We're going to watch it together and react to it. Ooh, I'm getting some subs because of this DLS title. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. If you've noticed lately, I've been getting more and more into PC gaming. I think that it's the most open platform. I think that it's the future of gaming, unfortunately. I know that I used to be a console gamer, but I'm slowly going PC completely here. However, we're running into these DLSS 5 issues that are now turning computer graphics into AI slop. So no matter where we turn in gaming at the moment, I feel that we're hitting a crossroads, because no matter where we turn, AI is coming for us. And I don't mean in the sexual way. But AI is definitely coming to take over these GPUs. Now, I have a theory that not a lot of people like, but I know that every single major company out there is headed towards streaming eventually. Maybe not yet, maybe it's a little too early for this, but one day You guys are gonna say, Jay, you're absolutely nuts about this, but you'll.
DLSS makes my dick look big.
Why does he sound so perverted there? No, it's not going to work on any 4000 series. It's only on the 50 line of GPUs. So if you have a 4800, it's not going to be working. DLSS 5 is only on the 50 series. So, but here's what I was getting at. No matter what, the future of gaming is controlled by the people that have the servers. These servers are where we're headed no matter what. Yes, it'll work on any 50. From my understanding, if you have a 5050, a 5080, 60, whatever, apparently it's only going to work on those.
Slop or not, it's not a big deal in my opinion. People mod games all the time to look and play different than the developers intend.
Also, very good point. But I have to ask you this one, Shiny. When a mod comes out for a video game, how much money is being taken away from the developer because of AI? Nothing. At least...
Absolutely. Now I can send DLSS big dick pics to the chicks.
Yeah, Raw Dakota says I don't have to worry about this. By the way, shout out to Raw Dakota. I love you, buddy. You're a legend. Thank you. Nightbreaker, thank you for ruining my stream as always. I love you. Drummer Cream needs a donation. Can somebody donate to Drummer Cream? He needs $5.
Congratulations.
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. Yeah, Shiny, that is a valid point I had there, isn't it a little bit? Huge shout out to the one and only Raw Dakota. Raw Dakota with the 5!
My dream was games design in college and joining the industry. Dropped out due to AI a year back.
Wow. Wow. Free hugs. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Free hugs. Let's play that again. By the way, Raw Dakota, thank you for the support. Punch my pixel. I like you, Raw. Thank you, dude.
My dream was games design in college and joining the industry. Dropped out due to AI a year back. I have been absolutely validated in my decision today.
Yeah. There you go. There's another prime example of somebody who had the dream of being a game developer and they're not in the industry anymore. I hate to say this publicly here, but I've been going to studios for 15 years. I'm friends with people that work at a lot of the major studios. I'm friends with a lot of the developers. I know people personally from Rockstar Games, everywhere. EA, Ubisoft. There's not a single person that is excited about AI encroaching on video games. It has ruined so many lives, and you guys don't really see that from the gaming aspect that you guys have the, your perception is, well, I'm not going to say it everybody, because it's definitely not everybody here. But look at this. This is very interesting. Let's end the poll. James Brown, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you subbing. Guys, look at the fucking poll. 60% of you say no, you're not going to use this and you don't like it. And there's 40% of you that say it's fine. It's absolutely fine. What you guys don't realize is that there's a whole industry on the back end for the 40% that are saying yes, that you're wiping out completely. Now, is it your job as a consumer to care about the person who created the video game? That's my question now. As an entertainer myself, is it your job to care about me? Or is it your job as a customer to essentially watch me as entertainment and that's as far as it goes? Or do you go past that and care about me? Now, I know that I'm not a prime example of or a good example of what I'm getting at here, because obviously you guys watch me because I am who I am, and you guys support me because I am who I am. But what I'm getting at is if you're supporting me for the 40% here in chat that are saying they don't care if they're gonna use this or not, they don't care about the industry, do you not look at the developers and say, well, I don't care about them, or do you care about them? Some people, this is just a question. Some people don't need to care about those people. Some people do care about art and that side of it. So that's my question. Generic says this though. Here's a good one. Jack says, no, after I buy my game, my duty to care is over. So you're saying essentially when you buy, I don't know, Resident Evil 9, you no longer care about them because they've delivered the product, right? Is that what you mean? Steve says this. If your job can be replaced by a circuit board, you might need to seek more meaningful employment. Again, Raw Dakota says this. If you want more, he's talking about video games, then you should care about what's happening behind the scenes. Jordy says, how long until you stop buying physical? Well, I put my foot down on Nintendo and basically said, I'm not buying a single game key card. Fast, what's up, my friend? I haven't bought a single game key card since day one, guys. And I promise you, I will never break that promise to you guys and myself. I stand on that. I will never support a game key card. And I know that's silly because I bought Pokemon digitally.
I care about the devs and their well-being, hate crunch culture and low pay. But I won't force myself to care about features like this current one.
Yeah, Mario Kart, good point. You care. But I'm curious because, listen, a lot of people, this goes much deeper than you guys really think about. Mario Kart, thank you for the support. This goes way deeper because I did a video on this earlier, and I think you guys will find this quite interesting. Earlier today, I did a short about GDC, so the Developers Conference. And they were talking about something that actually is positive because of the RAM shortage, which most of you are going to be like, how is that a positive, Jay? Listen to this nonsense, which I think is quite cool. Because of the shortage of RAM, and over the next 2 to 3 years, you will not basically be able to upgrade your computer because of the price of everything. Devs are now being forced to, well, let me see if you guys already know I'm going with this. Devs are now being forced to make better games, to optimize their games. So memory leaks, they need to be closed. The compression on the assets needs to be done better. So what's happened is, because there's no RAM out there, and they know that they can't get away with, you know, not dealing with the memory leaks or just the lazy coding, they actually are going back to old games and recoding things to run better on less memory. So that's a positive. Isn't that crazy to hear?
Digital Foundry's argument is that we are hitting limits and AI helps. I'm not sure how to feel about I need
Again,
ideas.
I agree with you, man. Drummer Cream.
Jay's pussy to help me out with money.
You know, there's new subscribers coming in. We don't need to chase them off. Okay? I love you, though. All right. Mitcha says, AI looks bad, harms the environment.
Universal basic income's coming for us all. Farewell.
Yep. I wish that would happen. Universal basic income. We're not going to talk political here, but we did a pilot program in Canada. Everywhere that they've ever done universal income, it's always benefited society in that city or town that they did a pilot program in Canada in. But they'll never do that. They'll never just give free money out. I mean, they do, but they, you know, that's a whole other story. Now, Valation says, I will say this.
JKB, live, raw, hot, and political. Let's go.
No, K-Dubs, we're not getting political here. I do appreciate everybody enjoying this today because I wanted to actually have a good conversation about this. Macho, what's up, dude? So if you're just tuning in, let's go over to Digital Foundry and watch their video on this together. So Digital Foundry had a hands-on with DLSS 5, and let's see if they're shilling for Nvidia or if they have any concerns about the use of AI. Let's find out. Ocarina Hero, thank you, my friend. What are you saying?
I'd rather buy digital and have it accessible whenever than to have an empty cartridge inserted just to play a digital game.
Absolutely, my friend. I totally agree with you. I'm going to make my screen a bit bigger here. Thank you for the support. Guys, if you want to support the stream, the best way to do that is gifted memberships. So thank you to everyone that's been sending gifted memberships over. I appreciate you guys. Shane and Booch, thank you. I appreciate you guys. What did I miss there? I'd rather buy digital and then have more accessibility to it than have an empty cart. Ocarina Hero, I absolutely agree with you. Like I told you guys before, I will never, ever purchase a game key card. So let's head over to this video and just see how they're taking the news.
Hello there and welcome to a DF Direct special. We are at GTC at...
By the way, this was revealed behind the scenes to them. So let's see how they feel about it.
San Jose in America, and we have just seen DLSS 5. And I think it's fair to say that it's one of the most surprising, potentially disruptive, transform games of today and indeed tomorrow. Oliver McKenzie, you're joining me. You saw the demo as well.
So as you know, he's talking about AI.
Yes, Rich. I think this is probably the most impressive by quite a lot game demo I've seen in my time at Digital Foundry. So I think it's definitely worth.
So he's essentially saying right off the bat that he thinks that this is the most impressive thing he's ever seen at Digital Foundry, ever. Okay.
Discussing here today. It's a very special technology showcase, I would say.
Yeah, I think we should kick off with what is DLSS 5. Well, how do you describe it, Oliver? I mean,
all right, so they're going to describe it here.
Do you remember when DLSS was to make your games that already ran good better? And how fast developers used it in place of optimization? Think.
Free hugs. Thank you for bringing that up. That's crazy you bring that up because optimization was always what people that played PC games wanted the developers to essentially focus on. Optimization of the assets and the game. That's all we cared about now. Now, all of a sudden, optimization went out the window because we're getting things like DLSS 5, but due to the RAM shortages, developers are now backstepping, saying that they have to focus on optimization because there's a lot of people that can't have 32 gigs of RAM because they can't afford it. So where are we going with this? You know what I mean? We're losing with the DLSS 5 because we're going into AI technologies, which a lot of people in the chat are 50-50 on. But we have to go in this direction because nobody can afford the fucking RAM because of the AI that you're utilizing in the DLSS 5. It's a fucking circle jerk of nonsense coming from the industry. And guess who has to pay for that? Us. So thank you. Thank you, game industry. You did a great job. He's about to explain what this is.
it is basically an attempt to, well, you know, traditionally you would see like an increase in hardware technology performance that would enable new lighting techniques.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not just saying I told you so, but you guys that have been watching me for at least the last 5 to 10 years, you know I was projecting this 7 to 8 years ago, saying that the future of software on your PC in terms of the video games was not going to be a hardware advancement. It was always going to be software to create better software. And that's what we're seeing now because there was going to be a limit. And Nvidia is now looking at that limit saying, well, we're going to sidestep the limit by going with software. So That's what we're dealing with now, and I've been saying that for a long.
I want
goddamn
mac
time.
cheese.
Listen, you want mac cheese. You've been a member now for 25 months. Thank you very much, Alice. I will send you some in the mail.
But I think what Nvidia are essentially trying to do is kind of like bypass all of that, taking us like a generation or two beyond lighting as it's seen today, and it's done entirely through machine learning with a new form of DLSS that is complementary to the existing ones, frame generation and super resolution. So yeah, it's basically like a new string to the bow of DLSS. But you know, I think our first point of contact was this particular image of Resident Evil Requiem, where we saw this sequence here. So that's the original past-facing version that you're seeing there, and then kind of like the DLSS 5 take on it. Oliver, what do you think of this? Because this is like quite extraordinary.
Now, I already gave my opinion on this. I'll do it again quickly. Grace is supposed to be a 22-year-old autistic, absolute FBI nerd. That's what the developers wanted. Paradox, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. We're now at 6 gifted members today. Thank you, guys. We're at 6 members for the stream. Honestly, if you want to support my stream, that is the best way to do it. So thank you.
We honestly, when we saw this for the first time, we didn't know actually what DLSS 5 was.
Yeah, this just blew me away. So basically you have Grace there in this scene. This is kind of a very...
Like I was saying, Grace is supposed to be an autistic 22-year-old FBI agent. Extremely wacky and weird. All of a sudden, she's a supermodel with DLSS 5 on. I don't like that. I don't like that part. It does not...
Jay,
it does not justify
make
the
mac
vision.
and cheese in my pussy. Ah, oh, whoa.
Nightbreaker's lost his fucking mind today. This is... I love you, buddy, but you've lost it. So, yeah.
What I mean is how they were using DLSS in place of actual optimization. Now they are going to be using DLSS 5 in place of artistic talent.
Absolutely, dude. Free hugs. Thank you for the support. Abso-fucking-lutely. Devs are now going to look at DLSS 5 and make it mandatory in some of their games. I guarantee it, because they're not going to want to work on the lighting. They don't need to work on the lighting because that department, I hate to say this, is going to get fucking fired. And that's what you guys don't realize. They're gone. You do not need to create an art department at that scale anymore when you could just turn on DLSS 5 and have the computer do it. People are going to lose their jobs over this. They've already lost their jobs from multiple different, facets of game development. From asset building to animation to sound effects. All of that's AI now. Even to voice acting. All of it's... People have lost their jobs. Tons of people have lost their jobs because of this already. We don't talk about it every day on the show. But unfortunately, the only people that are going to be left over are the people that are running the AI at certain points. That's what's going to happen in the future. Paradox, thank you for the gifted membership, by the way. Appreciate it. We're now at 7. This is a low support gifted membership stream. Let's try to get to at least 50.
Famous scene from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And obviously the path trace render has a great...
Dude, that's fucking path trace rendering. I thought path trace looked amazing yesterday. Now look at it. It's like we're on another level.
Hello, Jay. The DLSS 5 makes everything look the same. Creativity will die due to greed and money-saving AI. AAA gaming is dead.
Absolutely, I agree with what you just said here. When you have photorealism in a game that looks like, the Uncanny Valley, the idea of the video game and the idea of having a character in that video game be realistic is one thing. But when you take style and artistic expression and you put AI on top of it, what happens to that style? We're going to see it in this video. And Jostler brings up a very good point. You'll notice all of these characters, after you turn it on, they blend. They just basically blend into the same game.
lighting detail, but then they swap over to DLSS 5. The first thing that I think sticks out to anyone here is the fidelity and realism in Grace's face.
Now I hope DLSS 6 finds your nutsack, Jostler.
And it's almost like we've integrated a grab bag of graphical techniques here in one fell swoop. Grace's skin has a much more convincing specular response with quickly diffused.
It's fucking AI. Listen to Digital Foundry talk about DLSS 5 like it's the best thing that's ever happened. It's fucking AI. Listen to them. Watch this.
Specular highlights. Her hair is lit more realistically as strands closer to her scalp are occluded more heavily. Her eyes now have perfect specular highlights and they appear much more realistic and lifelike, I would say.
I mean, yes, her eyes look incredible. The problem, though, is those two eyes do not match. If that's what she's supposed to look like, photorealism, I don't like Grace anymore. She looks completely different. That's not nerdy Grace. That's fucking supermodel 22-year-old Grace. Huge difference.
When you're looking at things like the specular response in her jacket, those things are much more true to life as well.
Now listen, if it didn't affect the face so much, I wouldn't be so upset about it.
Let's see John Lindemann's ass in DLSS 5.
I would say the lighting in the background is also considerably enhanced, especially when you look at elements like this lamp post here. Or in the...
Now, that's a good example of what I like about DLSS 5, but I still don't think that we, because of the limitations of hardware, I think we don't quite understand what's AI in this image and what is still the vision of the developer. I don't know if AI is replacing it, if it's not. I don't know the answers to that. Maybe they're going to explain it, but the face, man, looks so weird. So weird.
DLSS 5 view, it looks much more convincingly reflective, like a real lamppost would behave.
Yeah. Guys, look. Do I have an issue with the lamppost on the left? No. The lamppost on the left looks pretty good. But from a filmmaking aspect here and a cinematography eyeball that I have, because I'm a filmmaker, the right one, in terms of the lighting, is definitely better fit for the environment. That is exactly what the lamp would look like. The lamppost would look like in that environment.
In wet weather.
The one on the left, not so much. On the one on the right, you're getting that soft cast. Remember, soft lighting is what's super important in filmmaking. Soft lighting. You can have harsh lighting if that's the style you want, but she's currently in a rain-filled environment with a cloudy overcast. It's going to be extremely soft lighting. The one on the right is more of a hard lighting. The one on the the one on the left's hard. The one on the right is definitely soft, and the one that's on screen, full screen, is definitely soft as well.
If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us.
Okay, let's get back to
conditions. I think the kind of apparent aesthetic changes to Grace's face here will perhaps be most controversial, but throughout
no shit.
The other demos that we saw and the other shots that we saw in these games, I wasn't seeing nearly as much of a difference in terms of that DLSS 5 view of the character relative.
See, now he's got a good point here. Remember I was talking about the artist vision of the character, right? He's saying essentially Grace is completely different after DL is... I'm just going to start to call it D5. When D5 is on, Grace looks completely different. When D5 is on here, for some reason, it has to do with the lighting environment. It looks like when we're in a very bright, harsh lighting environment, the DL5 does not really ruin the image as much as it does when we're in a darker image. So watch.
To a ray traced or path traced to the same character.
Yeah, I think the important thing to point out, though, is that it's not actually replacing assets as such. So geometry, I think that's quite remarkable because the geometry looks different on that Grace shot, but it's not. It's the same geometry.
He's saying it's the same geometry, but I swear her lips look bigger.
It's the same texture assets. It's simply going through a different form of lighting that, from Nvidia's perspective, is kind of like next generation and transformative. And when you first see that shot, it's quite difficult to argue with that. I mean, when you flick between the two, which one would you rather play? It's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? What's quite interesting about this is Nvidia's state.
Hear what he said? Let's just roll that back a little bit here.
It's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it?
He's saying it's a no-brainer right away. Like, you should play with DSP5 on.
What's quite interesting about this is Nvidia's stated developers here. This demo is actually quite interesting in terms of its technical makeup, in that it's using an RTX 5090 to run the past-face version of Resident Evil, but there's
Hear that?
a second 5090 that's actually doing the DLSS 5 pass there.
Hear that? So he's got a 5090 in there. I forget what I have in my computer. Guys, what do I have in my computer? A 5080 or a 5090? I think a 5090 TX, or I don't know what I have. I know that Vapus knows what I have. But yeah, in this computer, they have two 5090s. I have a 5070? Okay. So I'll be able to run this when it comes out. Only the 5000 series is going to be able to do this, apparently.
But the intention is, this is a very early demo. They keep calling it like a snapshot of current development for the model. Right. Yeah. So they're expecting...
Now, the 4070, I think, was in Rich's computer. Wait, I have a 4070 Ti? I don't have a 50? Oh, I won't be able to do this then. Shit!
Changes. They're expecting improvements.
Well, good news. I don't want to use this, really.
But crucially, they're expecting to be able to do this on one GPU. In fact, they are doing it on one GPU in their labs right now. But in terms of getting like full speed performance for the demo, they wanted to actually run it on a second one, but they're looking to continually optimize.
Yeah, and they did say that they do have it running, like you said, on one GPU, and they basically made it clear that the VRAM requirements at this stage aren't so steep.
Right.
They couldn't run on a single consumer GeForce GPU, so presumably like a 5090 GPU. Right. They were running in this demo with two 5090s, but that's obviously not the intent. They want to ship it, they intend to ship it on single GPU systems when this launches in fall of 2026.
Yeah, which...
Oh, it's coming. So it is coming this fall.
Which isn't so far away.
No, it's not so far away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think maybe if we look at some of the other demos here, I think Starfield is a really interesting one because the base imagery, of course, is not ray-traced, not path-traced. And yet we're still seeing transformative changes here, particularly in terms of...
So did you hear what they just said? Hang on, that's interesting. I didn't even catch that before. Listen to what he's saying here.
The base imagery, of course, is not ray-traced, not path-traced.
So the base image before and after is not ray-traced or path-traced. So you're doing it off the base level with no ray tracing on, and this is the effect you get with DSP5 on. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that.
And yet we're still seeing
because I thought this was based on path tracing and then on top of it. Because path tracing is fucking incredible, but the optimization in path tracing is terrible. Terrible. Like, Resident Evil 9, when you have it on like the best computer ever, you're still going to have low frame rates on path tracing. I think that path tracing is the future of gaming, but now apparently this DSP5 is, unfortunately.
Transformative changes here, particularly in terms of character rendering, which is an area where Starfield received quite a lot of criticism. But again, the effect is quite remarkable here, isn't it?
Yeah, and I found this very interesting. So we saw this through a variety of games that basically they really do intend for that base render that's going into this, the base color, the base motion vectors, the base render to be as high quality as possible. Starfield obviously has some issues with its lighting. It's not ray traced.
Well, watch this, man. So there's no ray tracing, there's no path tracing in Starfield, but watch this.
It tends to look very flat, and I thought DLSS 5 did a fantastic job enhancing.
I think it looks like AI absolute slop. Am I the only one that thinks Starfield with this on looks terrible?
I want to encourage everyone to look up Iskin if you don't already know. Using this for marketing needs to be outlawed. It's false advertising.
Isgen? What's that, my friend? Volation, thank you. I'm not sure what that is. Now, you know, the texture, like this looks like an AI image, man. It's, you know, if you don't have a lot of experience with AI upscaling, then you might not understand what you're looking at here, but this looks like an AI upscaled image. It looks cheap. It looks like an AI cheap render. Reman says, this looks like a massive improvement. Only criticism I'm going to give it is the strange movements on the face and the lips, but AI is evolving fast and will probably solve this soon. So he's obviously an AI guy. Someone has shown that EI without path tracing with DLSS 5 is enabled. Yes. Literally upset about an AI upscaler. Well, I mean, I'm not that upset about it. I'm having a discussion.
Details and enhancing that lighting presentation.
I'm more upset about the people that are going to be fucking homeless because of this technology.
In a way that I didn't really think was possible, because all of a sudden you've got this game that otherwise looks very flat, otherwise has a kind of last generation appearance in some respects, and all of a sudden it kind of looks like a path traced game. But there are still some issues though, like you can note screen space errors in certain games where like you have screen space reflections or screen space ambient occlusion, and those things are breaking up in the DLSS 5 image. So it's not like it's perfectly understanding and reconstructing all characteristics of light. It's still depending on the base render, but it's super impressive to see a game like Starfield, to see this character's jacket, for instance, all the specular highlights cast in a much more realistic light.
Yeah, I mean, okay. The jacket looks incredible. It does look incredible. I'm not going to lie about how the image looks. You know, that's, in my opinion, that's what Starfield should have looked like when it came out. There's no shot of that, but that's how the game should have looked like when it came out. In my opinion, we're at a level of like, how many times can Bethesda released the same shitty engine, but that's a whole other story.
The material properties along her clothing there, and indeed in her face, this colossal increase in lighting fidelity, where all of a sudden you're seeing proper subsurface scattering, her eyes are properly self-shadowing in there, and her mouth is also shadowing her teeth correctly, and all these other characteristics that they pointed out to us that you don't really think about in the context of real-time rendering.
Only games. This has a place are simulators.
Free Hugs, thank you for the support today, buddy. You know what? That's actually not bad. That's not a bad one. I mean, a simulator, you know, that's a good idea. I get what you're saying there a little bit. But overall, it's like when they put it on characters, it just changes the look of them so dramatically that I question if it's changing the vision of the developers. You know, like, Bethesda, in this case, they love this. They're like, yeah, we don't need to do a better job. We'll just let your cards do the better job for us. To me, that's just lazy development. You know, why would Starfield get an overhaul if you could just use a 5090? Why would they do it? They don't need to. That's also why Starfield's primarily in this video. Trust me.
Big picture to update on PS5 Pro tonight. Pisser.
Yes, PSSR 2.0 is coming out on PlayStation 5 Pro tonight, which is a big deal for a lot of people. So I hope you guys enjoy that upgrade.
Because you're so used to a lower quality image than what, you know, high-end CG could provide. But all of a sudden, we're kind of in the realm of high-end CG with this technology.
Absolutely, yeah. There are plenty of demos that we saw. We're going to be producing a much longer video where we can talk in depth about them. Let's talk about Oblivion Remastered. It's quite an interesting showcase of what happens when you introduce DLSS 5 to an Unreal Engine 5 title. Software Lumen now is like radically transformed into something quite different. Yeah. Character rendering again gets a gigantic revamp, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
you've never seen elves look this realistic.
I'll be honest, that looks like AI.
JR, you're using DLSS 5 to mask your white hairs.
Yes. Thank you, Nightbreaker. Thanks for the support today, guys. Appreciate it. We're having a low support stream. If you guys want to gift memberships to support the stream, don't do it. We're having a low support version today. Now, how do you guys feel about this elf? How do you feel about the elf, guys? To me, it looks like AI slop. It just looks like we've applied an AI filter on top of this. There you go. I agree. This looks...
That's just nightmare fuel right there.
This looks terrible. There's no doubt about it. This looks terrible. Just white. They're going to show it. They're going to show it, my friend. Hugs, thank you for the support today. I appreciate it, dude. By the way, guys, this whole week, I am streaming at 5 p.m. EST every single day except Friday. And then on Saturday, we have the return of Resident Evil 9 with Vapist. But this Thursday, we have a very, I'll announce it. Ready?
Oh, Christopher said he looks like Epstein.
I guess he kind of does. So, hang on. Let me look up the release date.
Skinwalker. Annunciation.
All right, so this Thursday, which is March 19th, we are going to be playing Crimson Desert on the show. 5 p.m. EST. I'm playing on PC, so it'll actually look good. Rest in peace to the console people out there crying right now. Hey, it looks like shit on my PlayStation 5. Well, should have got a PC instead of that PlayStation 5 Pro. Although, to be fair, the PlayStation 5 Pro is getting the PSSR 2.0 update, which from my understanding, which what I'm allowed to talk about right now, wink, 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 which I'm allowed to talk about right now, actually makes the game look pretty fucking good on PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, nobody knows what it looks like on the base PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. So, fingers crossed, it looks good. Now, on PC, it looks mwah.
Low support week, let's go. No one better support.
K-Nubs, this is a low support week, so I appreciate it. I'll have the schedule up after the stream tonight. I'll post it on YouTube and my Discord and on Twitter. Let's carry on. I love you guys.
That's the bottom line, yeah.
By the way, again, this elf looks terrible.
Also, it's really...
Left Control Gaming says the PC version has Davaro or whatever the hell it's called. What's it called? Denavo? I can't pronounce it. Which kills frames per second, which is not true. It doesn't really affect the game. That's like a fucking myth. But you guys will see that when the game comes out.
Interesting to see the kind of, the occlusion that's happening on all of the brickwork, on all of the sort of castle-like structures there. It really is quite extraordinary to see it in motion and to sort of flip between the two there. Windows that look completely flat and opaque now actually seem to look proper.
No, sorry. Let me rephrase what I just said. The de novo or whatever it's called in Crimson Desert, there's not a single person playing on PC right now complaining about that. So it has affected games in the past, but it's not. I've seen the PC version running. I've seen the PC version running. Because they are paid? What do you mean? I'm talking about my friends. I'm talking about actual reviewers playing it on PC. It's not a big deal anymore, Drummer Cream says. I don't think it is at all. I think that it got overblown and, it wasn't optimized in certain games. But, again, I'm talking to literally hundreds of PC players of the game and nobody's being like, Again, that I don't agree with that nonsense, but I think that they'll probably end up taking it out of the game. But they also put a statement out saying that every single piece of footage that has been released for Crimson Desert on PC has had it utilized from the very beginning. So if it was affecting frame rate, Digital Foundry would have talked about it and said that it was. And every other person that got that 6-hour demo of the game on PC would have had frame rate issues in it because it's implemented in all of it.
Correct. Yeah, it's just quite extraordinary.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the old lighting in the game I thought generally looked quite handsome.
Dino says you were right about Requiem. What was I right about Requiem?
You just roast me and my fellow console peasants.
No, well, Black Sheep, I'm talking about people that are playing the full game right now. There's probably 1,000 reviewers playing the PC game. Wink, wink. And oh, that it was good, yeah. So let me just tell you guys something. There's NDAs that you can talk about. There's certain things you can say. So what I'm saying is, yes, the 6-hour demo probably didn't have that in it. What I'm saying is, everybody that played the 6-hour demo, who's put a review out or talked about the game, has also experienced it after the fact in the full version. Anyways, Black Sheep, it's running fine, so
I'm
not too worried about it.
Not opposed to Lumen, and obviously Lumen takes some shortcuts, but here you're really just seeing all that kind of very coarse lighting detail brought out to like a really granular level.
And also, I guess I'll be controversial here. I don't give a fuck if a developer puts anti-theft piracy, anti-piracy technology into their games. In fact, I don't really steal my games ever. I actually pay for everything that I want to play. So I don't see why people are upset. I understand you'd be upset if it was really affecting the performance of that. But there's a lot of games that have come out recently that have that utilized that don't really see any effects with it being ran. So, you know, I don't understand the people that are against it. You know, it does affect some games. It doesn't on some. It's hit and miss nowadays. It's not as bad as it used to be, so I'm not really worried about it. I know that Capcom recently took it out of a game, but that was after the game was out for a while. But I don't know if that was the direct reason why the game was running like shit. I think I'm talking about, what's it called? What was that game? I totally forgot what that game was. Jay, what about those games you stole in your youth? Did you pay those companies back? Yeah.
You get really
I paid it back to Atari, which doesn't exist anymore.
tight shadows all of a sudden underneath awnings where the light is spilling out over the scene in a much more realistic manner, where you're getting those contact shadows, and it's just a markedly improved presentation.
Capcom added it to the games as well, and added it, and it killed mod support. Well, I mean, that's just a shitty company that doesn't know how to utilize it properly. You know, that's just Capcom's fault.
Even they pointed out like some of the character.
Atari does exist again. That technically Atari exists, but let's get real.
Models in the game are a little bit on the simpler side, but they still look a lot better when we
no, watch this. This looks terrible.
Put DLSS 5 on it.
Oh my god. That looks so bad. I know, I'm kidding about Atari, my friend. I'm just kidding. How does that look? How does it look that bad, guys? This looks fucking terrible. It looks terrible. Oh my god.
I mean, they look a little bit uncanny, I would say, but definitely.
Oh.
The overall portrayal of those characters is much more sophisticated.
Yeah, and we also took a quick look at Assassin's Creed Shadows here, which is quite remarkable in how it's handling environmental lighting and shadow there.
Here's a big deal. Like, look at the foliage. This looks...
you know, it's radically transformed.
Yeah. You know, from a cinematic background, that looks 100 times better, but also...
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a game that is a very handsome title, I would say, in general. It was obviously part of our Graphics of the Year list last year. But when we look at that base render, we see there are some issues with like shadow maps, and maybe the detailing in the foliage lighting is not quite as granular as you'd like. You move over to DLSS 5 and all those issues are basically fixed. Like all of a sudden the game looks like it has ray traced shadows, when in fact, of course, we know that it does not. And
no, that's, you know, like, it's impressive technology. Don't get me wrong. I think it's impressive that we're getting to this degree of graphics without having hardware that costs an arm and a leg. But the industry is for the worst because of this, because we're replacing an artistic vision with AI slop. And again, we'll keep going here, but some of the characters look terrible.
Like the fog is integrated much more nicely into the scene. The overall lighting presentation is just dramatically improved to the point where if you were squinting or even not really squinting, you could mistake this for an image of a real life forest, I'd have to say.
Yeah, they are attempting to bring photorealism to games with this, which I think is quite interesting, but also quite controversial as well, because this is basically today's game engines viewed through the lens of Nvidia's AI model.
Now, I'm not doing a told you so. This is not a told you so moment on the show here, but look closely at what this says. Will this impact Crimson Desert PC performance? Directly from Digital Foundry, who did hours-long worth videos on this already. They basically say the benchmark videos and performance specs we released were all created with the exact same implemented version of de novo that will be in the launch build. This includes the performance videos by Digital Foundry. There you go. And it's important that reviewers and benchmarks experience the game ultimately how it's represented with the final customer experience. So there you go. If the game comes out and has major issues because of it, I'll be surprised, because the developer has just said, again, and this is directly from Digital Foundry, there you go. So unless they're lying, which would be the end of the game, it would destroy the whole game if they lied about that. But they're essentially saying that the build that they have given to reviewers has it already implemented in there, and all the footage you guys have seen, not for the 6-hour demo, but for the people like Digital Foundry, have de novo implemented in the gameplay and performance. So it looks fucking amazing. So what I'm getting at is this whole mythology about de novo ruining all video games is not true anymore. Stop living in the past. Now, I will eat my words. I will absolutely eat my words if we get on Thursday de novo ruining Crimson Desert. If that's what happens Thursday, I will publicly apologize to everybody. But as of right now, de novo is doing absolutely nothing to affect Crimson Desert whatsoever, based on the people I've talked to, based to Digital Foundry, based to the developer themselves. If it changes on Thursday and the game is released and it runs like shit because of de novo, I will publicly come here and say, well, I was wrong about that. But as of right now, you got to stop thinking such negative aspect to that. If you paid for the game, then you paid for it. If you want to steal it, then that's your prerogative. I don't steal my games. Not saying that anyone here does steal their games, but there's a reason why it's in place, because people steal millions of dollars of software. So it is what it is. So again, there you go.
And I think it's fair to say that there's going to be a lot of discussion about whether this is the right direction.
Yeah.
A lot of discussion about whether this is actually what the the kind of ultimate intent of the developer actually is.
Yeah.
And I also think, we were told that the way that...
Well, no. Smush says the issue with de novo is not solely on performance. That's what most gamers on PC are worried about, the performance level of it and it affecting the performance. But as of right now, we already have it there. We already have articles explaining that everything we've seen from the game has had de novo in it. DRM server switched off. It's implemented. Again, I need to show it again? This is directly from the developers, so I don't know. We'll find out Thursday, but from everybody I talked to who's playing the full copy of the game, we've seen nothing. They've seen nothing affected. Say that again.
Technology works is it actually integrates into Nvidia Streamline.
Right.
So although developers can actually tune DLSS 5 lighting,
Just says, hey Jay, do you think DLSS will work with DLSS 5? I truly doubt it. Dude, at this point in time, I don't know the details of how they're implementing this and what you can turn on, what can be turned off, ray tracing wise. I think that what they're saying right now is that basically, and this is all I know about it. I did get an email about it, but I haven't read completely what it was about. But we'll probably talk about it later. Is that right now everything we're seeing is based on the baseline game without ray tracing, without path tracing. They haven't said anything else about what DLSS is using and how it affects past implemented software. I don't know, or graphics cards. I mean, I know it only runs on the 50. What did they say? Well, maybe they're going to cover that here.
Seemingly to be what they want it to be. There's going to be a lot of DLSS 5 mods happening to a lot of games, whether the developers like it or not, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that someone is going to get this in optiscaler, and it's going to be a bit of a wild ride. But yeah.
Yeah, Ruck says it takes the 50 series. Yes. Oh, and to be clear, in this demo, it's not running on two 5090s. It's running on one at a time. One is running the game, and then they switch over to the second one that's doing DLSS 5. That's what they said in this video, at least, unless I misheard them. It's not taking two. They have two in there, so they could switch between them, from my understanding, but they're saying it's going to work on one. So obviously, it wouldn't make sense that you need to run it on two, because no one's going to get two 5090s except fucking Black Sheep.
Yeah, I mean, they even discussed, I spoke with one of the engineers.
By the way, I offered Black Sheep $1,500 to take a shit in his brand new PC. He wouldn't do it.
In this project, and he mentioned that you could apply it to games as primitive as Minecraft, and get like a Minecraft RTX style appearance. So this does not just apply to AAA games. It does not just apply to high-end graphics. We're already seeing that a little bit with Starfield, which is a more primitive title. Yeah. But it really could apply to just about any game that can supply color and motion vectors, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
obviously,
that's so we're going to get into a whole other topic.
See, that's going to be a matter of controversy. We've already heard that.
Yeah, that it's going to get out of hand what they could do with this nonsense, and there's already people making fun of this. But let's call it DSP5. If you turn DSP5 on like other games that it's not supposed to be on, you know, when we're talking about this stylistic vision of the developer, it's going to make some controversial things happen, because you're going to be turning it on games like Minecraft. Like, how is this going to look on Minecraft? Is it going to make the characters look realistic? Like, this is where it gets ridiculous. And then mods come in place, and it's going to get out of hand with this stuff. You're going to be able to implement this using mods on basically any game to a certain degree they're explaining now. And it's going to get ridiculous.
But some developers are on board with the technique, that they really like it. They think it enhances their games, brings up
Catzilla, how are you?
Up to the visual fidelity that they had imagined in their heads but could not deliver. But obviously this is going to be a work in progress. And they'd also say that perhaps there could be some additional, they mentioned some tuning that might be involved.
Yeah, well, obviously some tuning. I mean, we're dealing with, you know, the first sort of...
We reached the pinnacle of gaming graphics.
Yeah.
At this point, if we're relying on AI to improve graphics quality from now on, our developers are just late.
Oh, guys, we've got roommate here. What's up, roommate?
I'm making chili. I'm looking for my pan. I think you might still have it.
Do you hear that? He's looking for his chili pan. Which pan?
Well, not chili pan. My baking tin.
Baking tin. Yeah. What does it look like?
It looks like a springform pan.
Springform pan. How big is it?
It's about 9 inches.
Guys, he's looking for his chili pan. Yeah, if it's down there, I haven't touched it since you moved out.
Oh, I know. That's right. I'm not saying it's you.
It could be in the oven if you... No? What does it look like?
It's a springform.
What's that mean?
It's a round pan with a spring form.
What's a spring form?
It opens up like It's only the bottom and the springform clamps on it.
I definitely don't have that.
Well, a lot of stuff was left on here.
Oh, well. Yeah, go nuts. If it's here, it's going to be in the bottom of those things there, but I honestly have not touched anything there. Guys, we got bad news. We got bad news. My roommate has lost his chili pan.
It's not a chili pan.
What is it?
It's a baking pan.
He's lost his chili baking pan.
It's not for chili.
It's for chili, he says. So, guys, the stream is derailed. We have a low support chili stream. Please gift memberships right now because he is about to cry. He's losing his chili pan. What happens if you can't find your chili pan?
Pardon?
What happens if you can't find the chili pan?
I'll have to figure out something else for the cornbread.
Chili pan? Oh, I know what you're talking about. The thing that clamps and goes... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's not here. Like, I haven't seen that forever.
Because I only have 2 places where...
Okay, well, hang on, guys. I have to find the chili pan. No, the chili pan, if it is here, the only where it would be in there, maybe.
Oh, God.
Well, it's not really much. It's just 2 things. Just don't knock it all off.
That's my point. So much stuff on here.
All right, guys. I'm back. Guys, please support the chili pan. We're going to have to get him a new chili pan, so it's low support. The chili pan's ruined, guys. How much does a chili pan cost?
Not much.
Not much. All right, guys. If you guys can help with the chili pan, please donate now.
On that side.
Do you guys hear this? He's literally he's looking for his chili pan.
WTF? What these chili pan did once take.
All right, Tower Dragon just donated $2. He wants to know what a chili pan does.
It doesn't. It's not a chili pan.
He's not sure. He's looking for it, but he's not sure what the chili pan does. So, guys, sorry, we're being derailed by a chili pan. Do we? I'm trying to think where that would be. I'm pretty sure
Rich kept the chili pan in the divorce. Let's go.
K-Nubs, I'm gonna keep your hands in the divorce. K-Nubs, I kept your three fingers in the divorce.
Is roommate cute? Asking for ones.
I'll ask him. So I have a gay man that watches. His name's One's 2 Cents. He wants to know if you're cute.
I don't believe so.
He says he does not believe so. I honestly think he's kind of cute. He looks like a handsome version of an older version of Dante from Clerks. Would you agree?
I have been told that before.
He's been told that before.
I was given a Dante figurine by my students.
Oh, where is it?
I have no clue.
So you threw it out.
No, it wasn't thrown out. It's just in the movement changes. I have no clue where anything is. Okay. Oh, I don't know where it is.
So the chili pan's missing?
I don't know where it is.
I honestly swear to God I saw it downstairs under your floating table thing that rolls.
We'll look again.
I wish he'd come on camera once, says Alice. No. There's no chance in hell that roommate will ever show up on stream. Sorry, guys. Raw Dakota, thank you. So we're dealing with a missing chili pan.
Maybe the chili pan turned into a pot after DLSI.
You got it? Oh my God. So there you go, guys. Let's get back to this video. Let's actually finish a video. We got 5 minutes left on this.
Some exclusions that might be involved in this model in order to get it to a level where...
Oh, now everyone wants to see the chili pan. Jesus Christ. Let's just finish this video.
Their developers are comfortable shipping it in their games.
Yeah, and it is still work in progress, although we are expecting this to be delivered this year, which I still think is like quite a remarkable
Elvis, you're fired. You're late. Elvis, donate 50 gifted memberships right now.
proposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of work still to do on this. You know, the concept that they're using two 5090s effectively to bring this demo to us today. And
Oh, wait. So they are using two 5090s, but in the beginning he said they switched.
somehow rationalizing that down to one, that's going to be quite an interesting experience, I think.
Yeah, just
Wait a minute. At the beginning they said they switched, and now did I misread that?
one 5090 is ambitious enough, but then you got to think about the rest of Nvidia's stack and the 5070s, the 5070s, 5080s. Could those
Yeah.
cards run this? Again, that's kind of an open question at the moment. I think it's probably their intent that those cards could run a version of this. And we did hear as well that this should scale. I mean, if the VRAM question can be settled, this should scale reasonably well with output resolution, is what we heard.
Yeah, Nightbreaker, it's a custom rig.
So potentially like this at 4K
Elvis, I was just kidding. I love you.
with two 5090s, maybe it goes down to one 5090, hopefully.
Yeah, free hugs. I swear to God, that's what they said at the beginning. They said 159 is doing like ray tracing or path tracing, and the other one was doing the DLSS 5 stuff, right? We'll go check that out after and see what they said.
They have 4K for many games. And then perhaps the other cards are capable of it at 1440p or 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, so it is a separate component to frame generation and DLSS super.
Do you think these two put butter on each other's heads and rub each other's bellies?
Resolution, so you kind of like still choose your settings, so to speak. I think it's also going to be quite
Uncle Mike, I love you. Blossom Lizard, thank you. He says, no, one was rendering the game regularly, and the other one was doing DSP5. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's what I thought, dude. For the love of God. So, guys, let's just be clear on this. When they got a custom computer here, one card is just running the game at baseline. The second card is doing the DL5.
interesting to see how the presentation changes.
Did Jay say lot lizard? Yes. I'd love, if anyone
Absolutely, let's partake in a digital Foundry anal orgy.
Momja.
Oh my!
According to the input settings that you choose from the quality menus and what.
Okay, here we go. Here's an example of DSP5 literally ruining a character. If you look at this image, it looks a lot like Terrence's great-grandfather, right? Look at the characteristics of him. You know what I mean? Really look at him. You get the essence of what that character is supposed to be, visually what he's supposed to be. Now, when it gets turned on, watch what happens, what you lose.
Whatnot.
What the fuck is that now? No. You know what I mean? You lose that edge, that sort of that stylized version of that man, that black man, Terrence's great-grandfather. You know what I mean? It's soulless. Like, it's different. Look at the
your
difference.
settings, so to speak. That
Like, to me, that just looks just
settings that you
weird.
choose from the quality.
Like, dude, to me, that's what PC gaming looks like, right? Now, this is before DS5 Wendy's dumpster diving with Terrence, and then watch. He eats a half-eaten hamburger, and now you've got that. Totally different character. That's no longer Terrence's great-grandfather. It looks terrible.
What does DLSS 5's take on ray tracing look like versus path tracing, or without ray tracing at all?
Yeah, dude, like, you're losing the characteristics of that character.
That's going to be quite interesting as well, but there's just
Who the fuck is that now?
so many questions. I think we've still...
Exactly. Free hugs, man. I appreciate the support today, and thank you. Free hugs, do you go by another name in my chat? Hang on. Free hugs, who are you? Do I know you? Have you been here before? Because I appreciate you tuning in today, and thank you very much for the support, dude. But yeah, you're right. It changes the characteristics of the character in the deeper shadows, and that's a problem. That's a major fucking problem. And it's just lighting. Canadian Kid says it's just lighting. I agree with you, but it looks like shit. There's no way around that. It looks really good sometimes, I'm not going to lie, but sometimes not so good. Like, really bad. So I'm just seeing who that is. Who is that? Hang on, free hugs. Who is it? No, I'm new. I literally just put AI slop DLSS 5 and this was live. Well, dude, thank you, dude. I appreciate you coming here. You just subscribed to me, I'm assuming, as well. So, guys, thank you to all the new people watching today. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Oh my God, look who's back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Guys, we got bad news. We're at 12. We're 12 gifted membresses. Wicked is here. Wicked, thank you, buddy. Destruct, they're adding it in the fall. We're just watching it now. Wicked, how are you, my friend? I appreciate you. Also, Just Whiteley. Love you. Guys, thanks for the gifted memberships today as well. Appreciate the support. So let's get back to this video. Raw Dakota's gifted one. We're now at 13. Raw Dakota's now gifted 6 today. That's 6 more than Juicy Booch.
Boochie.
K-Nubs, thank you for the support. Let's finish this video strong, guys. Also, shout out to Free Hugs. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Consider becoming a member because you get nothing.
Struggling to kind of process all of this.
You know, it's such a leap in computer graphics. I mean, it's almost...
Wow. So watch this woman. Looks, you know, you got the characteristics, you got that, the nose. You know, when you look at a character like this, you can see the developer has stylized this person to look how they look. And they said a hard line in that and said, that's the character. When this turns on, watch how different this character look. Look at how different it looks.
Getting beyond computer graphics and into neural rendering. You are supplying...
What is that now? She's like suddenly a supermodel with makeup on. Like, dude, it's actually putting makeup effects on these characters.
Game image, you are supplying imagery from a game engine. Granted, it's sophisticated imagery from a game engine, but then you're getting this greatly enhanced lighting presentation just because this model understands lighting, understands...
No, it does not understand lighting properly. That is not how that should look.
How materials interact, understands how things should behave in the real world, kind of almost better than you could program.
Steve says, so it's basically an Instagram filter for games. Essentially, it is. Essentially, it literally is a filter that just makes, it just makes the lighting on faces, also in the environment. It's rendered differently. Doesn't increase performance. Nope. Probably the opposite.
Into a game engine, at least to some degree.
K-Nub says these digital Foundry guys have been compromised. Dude, they're kissing ass on this one today. They're absolutely kissing the ass of every Nvidia employee, saying this is the future. While it is the future, unfortunately, look at it. Yeah, free hugs. There's another reason why the camera's not moving much.
That might be a controversial statement, but I think it's definitely true. And it's just an absolutely incredible accomplishment. I cannot wait to see it.
Let's
and this was
finish so I can fin up on you.
By the way, I'll put this on screen. He says, you guys are clueless. The devs helped with these games today in Nvidia and make this happen. Absolutely. But by the way, I should have pointed out at the beginning, Bethesda is absolutely behind some of the tech demos that you see today, especially with Starfield and the remake. Yeah. What's your point? Clueless on what? It looks like shit. It looks like shit. So I don't know what your point is on bringing that one up. Unless you think this AI slop looks good, it looks like shit.
Like,
you know, of course Bethesda is going to step up. I hate to say this, but listen to this rant. Of course Bethesda is going to want to fire employees and bring in AI because they're going to save money on their profit line, and the shareholders are going to go, congratulations, you did a great job here. With all of those companies. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. People are going to get fired because of this technology, and of course the developers are going to want to thin out their staff. It looks fucking terrible. You know why it looks terrible? Because it wasn't made by fucking humans. So I don't know what the argument here is. It looks like shit.
You know, it was running at reasonable performance levels. Granted, maybe there were some performance hitches here or there in certain games. We're not sure that might have...
And also, Drummerpunk has another point. Of course they want Starfield to look better right now because they did a fucking piss poor job with the character design in that game. That, of course, they're going to kiss the ass of Nvidia and say that will help you out on the tech demo. Because, number one, it's going to make our game look better that we failed to do ourselves, which is on Bethesda. It has nothing to do with anything else but that. But number two, as soon as this technology advances in a couple of years, we could fire the whole lighting division of this game or our studio because we don't need them anymore. Just like we didn't need all those texture creators, animation departments, sound design departments in studios. Go tell that to the, you know, probably 50,000 people that have been let go because of AI in the gaming industry. Just be like, yeah, well, you guys are clueless.
Coming from.
Well,
but in general,
yeah, clueless on the streets, living there because they don't work at the studios anymore because you rather have AI in your games. Fuck AI and fuck off with that comment.
Like, this was very performant, very real time. Rich had his hand in the controller, was manipulating these scenes. Like, this is real gameplay you're seeing here, where Rich was really manipulating. This was not a canned demo.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really important because we've...
Oh, that's pretty impressive. They could turn it on and off in real time. That's why there's two graphics cards running, guys.
Seen demos in the...
They're essentially switching between inputs.
Past that have been potentially transformative. The classic case being The Matrix Awakens, right, where you saw that and you thought, wow, this is the future of games. But fundamentally, it was a demo. It wasn't a game. But this is existing shipping titles running with this technology as like an extra layer on top. And man, you know, I can't wait to see more. But I think the fact is that we saw plenty already, which is surprising. And there does seem to be developer buy-in on it as well. Nvidia was saying that Todd...
Just white. Starfield doesn't need DSP5 because when you turn off the monitor, the game just looks better.
Howard personally signed off on this.
Yeah.
This is the way he kind of wanted his game to be seen, was the sort of power.
Sorry, listen. When AI starts to affect the artistic vision of something, that's when it's bullshit. I don't understand why you guys don't understand that. To the people that don't understand
Absolutely, I need to install keyloggers at Nvidia.
Yes, you do. And your ball sack to find your missing nutsack, your missing testicle. But dude, the second AI encroaches on the vision of something, it's no longer art. And it's a product. So you people that are eating this up saying this is great, enjoy your products because they're no longer going to be emotional. They're all going to look the same. You'll notice right away. All of the characters, you can't argue this, in the tech demo that they've shown, when they turn that on, all of a sudden the characters all blend together like they're from the same video game. I don't fucking want that. I want Resident Evil to look like Resident Evil. I don't want Resident Evil to look like AI slop filter Resident Evil. Do you not understand what I'm saying? I don't want Grace to look like a supermodel. She's not supposed to be a fucking supermodel. I don't want to play a Skyrim remake with this nonsense on it and see the characters that I've known for the last fucking, how long? 15 years we've played that game. If I decide to play it again, I don't want the elves to look like supermodels. What do we not understand here? The only reason this is being implemented is because we hit a wall in performance power and GPUs and there's nowhere else to go. That's number one. Number two, AI just takes the jobs of people. And guess what? We don't need 4,000 people at our studio. We only need 1,000 people here to run the AI machines. That's the future of gaming. So congratulations, because in 10, 15 years, all entertainment's going to either look the same and we're going to have to just deal with it. And society is just going to accept it. We're already seeing it. This demo is showing us that every fucking character looks the same. You can't say I'm wrong about it. It's every single character. When they turn that on, for all these games, all of a sudden looks like the fucking generic AI slop. Especially in the fucking remake of, well, let's find it here. Not Starfield, the Oblivion remake. Guys, it looks like shit. If you're telling me that looks good, and that's what Oblivion Remake should look like, then you've got problems that you should get help with. That's fucking disgusting looking. It looks like shit. That's not fucking what I want. Look at it. Oh, God. Get it off the fucking screen. Oh, God.
With this technology, but I certainly can see the improvement in fidelity.
Like, dude, okay, listen. Let's see
It's
here.
the way I'd certainly prefer to play Starfield.
Well, listen, you hear that right there? Do you hear what he just said? Do you not find it funny that Starfield worked on the tech demo with Nvidia, and now Bald John is saying that this is the preferred way I'd like to play Starfield? What happened to Starfield looking good because of the developers? Why did Starfield have to have this huge tech demo with Nvidia to make the game look better? That's really the question you should be asking yourself about Bethesda. You guys don't think that's an important question to ask? What does that say about the future of gaming and development? That means, in theory, that means developers can be as lazy as Bethesda when it comes to their character design because they're going to rely on AI. Do you not see where I'm going with this? It literally is saying to developers, be lazy. Exactly, Free Hugs. Be lazy. Don't worry about the environment. Don't worry about the dynamic lighting systems that you were creating. Throw those out the window. Just do the baseline Bethesda absolute horseshit animations. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen in the future. We're just going to get studios that are going to be like, fuck it. Nvidia DSP5 will fix this. Fuck off.
I would definitely agree here, but yeah, that question of artistic intent, I think it's one that people are talking about for a long time with this technology. But I certainly can see the improvement in
Dude, that's a
Isn't
legitimate
Bethesda on the verge of failing?
I mean, I don't know the history of Bethesda at the moment or any of their financials, so I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'm getting at here is I just proven a very important thing that no one's talking about. If Bethesda worked with Nvidia on DLSS to make it look this good, quote unquote, for Starfield and Oblivion Remake, then what does that say? What does that say to the people who don't have the ability to buy a 50 series? That means you're still going to get Bethesda not stepping up to the plate and giving us the normal shit that we've always dealt with from Bethesda. That's the future we have? So if you don't have a 50 series in the future, you're just going to deal with this old shit? Okay, I guess we're just going to be lazy now. So what you're also getting at it is that Skyrim 6, or sorry, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to look like this with fucking DSP5 turned on? Oh God. Dude, do you know how that makes me feel about Elder Scrolls 6 now? Think about that. Joe says this, that was my point earlier. Games are just going to rely on AI to make them look better, while older cards will have to deal with sloppy games. You are 100% about that, my friend. 110% about that. So, congratulations. Let's finish this out. I don't know about Bethesda's current state, Radakota.
Starfield would have been good if it was made in 25, but they just relied on the old Elder Scrolls motif and reskinned it as a space.
Absolutely agree with that statement too. And there's something I want to say because somebody in the chat said this. Especially with the RAM shortage. And he does that quotations. Remember, the RAM shortage is because of DSP5. I'm calling DLSS 5 DSP5 now because it's fucking, to me, it's ruining gaming. It's going to ruin gaming. Not to a major way. Don't get me twisted here. Don't think I'm one of those YouTubers like Dreamcast guy.
Keep coming!
I'm not going to make a video saying DSP5 is ruining gaming and it's ruined forever. It's not going to ruin gaming. What it's going to ruin is the enjoyment of gaming for a lot of people out there, because it's now being filtered through AI slop. And what you say about the RAM shortage, the RAM shortage is caused because of shit like this. And then the low-end PC customers get this, ready for this. You're not going to like this. And I'm 100% right about this. I don't care what people say. Listen to this nonsense. In 5 years' time, if you think it's bad now, this RAM shortage, it's not going to just be that. In 5 years' time, 10 years' time, somewhere in there, you're not going to... Personal computing is going to change in major ways, where everything that we do is offset on a server somewhere, and hardware will come down. We won't need the hardware because everything will be AI generated, and all of this control that we currently have, it'll still be available, but it'll be astronomical to build a PC. Astronomical. So in the future, you guys can spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 to build your PCs. Or in the future, the way Nvidia wants it to happen is you'll have a little box that just connects to servers. That's the future, unfortunately, of gaming, and you'll have to pay to use that. So enjoy that in the future. You know, your graphics cards won't be in your computers. You'll be renting your graphics cards, renting them from a server. So have fun with that. Have fun with that. That's the future of gaming. That's what we've built. Great. I can't wait.
Fidelity, if nothing else. The massive improvement in fidelity, especially...
Because, dude, that's where we're headed.
For games that are more realistic. I'd be very curious...
Okay, so here's an example of it actually looking good. If you look at this character on screen, I guess she's probably about 14, 15 years old in game.
Else.
That looks terrible. That right there looks terrible.
The
but
massive
then,
improvement in fidelity, especially for games that are more...
She looks like she's 15, right? That's before.
Realistic.
That's after. I don't mind that. That looks okay.
I'd be very curious to see this interact with a game like Hi-Fi Rush or something.
Right, yeah. What's
where
gonna
like that's
happen
a
there?
very... That's a...
Blossom says, true, they want to take away the right to own. Guys, can I just say something I've been saying for 16 years? And because of the inside information I have from studios, and I've talked to developers, there isn't a single developer. Exactly. There you go.
You will own nothing and like it.
Exactly. So if that's the future you want, enjoy it. But I just won't game when we get to that point. Like I said, right now, everybody's like, oh, game key cards aren't a big deal. Dude, I'm not paying to rent the fucking game for that price. I'm not doing it. People are saying right now that Nintendo will never turn the servers off for game key cards. Well, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about letting them take a step into that realm. It's not about the future. It's about right now letting them do that. I'm not letting them go in that direction. So if you're supporting them,
Bethesda has been using different builds of the same engine for years. Even before Elder Scrolls. Newer Fallouts and Starfield as well, they won't change.
Yeah. What is this? Hang on. Yeah. Well, Bethesda's been doing it forever. They just, you know. See, the thing about Bethesda is this. When it comes to developers, they make incredible games. Absolutely incredible games. So let me ask you guys this. Isn't your Procopia on game keycard? Oh, listen, he's trying to get a gotcha moment. No, I didn't buy it. I bought it digitally because it's the only way I will buy it. Will I? I won't own it one day. I accept that. But you're not understanding what I want. I want physical games. I don't care about digital. Like, I already know that digital will disappear and they'll take games right out of your library. If you don't know, think about the people that bought High Guard. Rest in peace to them. Microsoft went in to libraries and took the fucking digital copies out of the library. So if you put any money into that game, whether it's good or not, it's no longer playable because it's a failed service. I hate to say this, but unfortunately, digital gaming eventually will become a failed service, and they will take those things away from you. We're seeing it now. The reason I don't buy game key cards is not because of any other reason but this. If you buy a game key card, that is the last way to own something physical in your hand that you can put in a Nintendo Switch 2 and play. That's the last time you'll be able to do it. Now, of course, there's people that are going to say, well, there's updates that you have to install in some of these games. I don't give a fuck about that argument. I'm talking about the games that you can buy on physical cart that you can play forever on those carts. Just like the NES days and the Super NES days. I could still play those games. That preservation and that ownership is being taken away with game key cards. I will never fucking support them because that's the last straw when it comes to us owning anything. And I don't understand why people are more upset about this. You will never fucking own your games past this point. You'll never own them. So we're paying hundreds of dollars for nothing. You'll never own it. It's a rental fee at this point. So I'm not going to go into the library. So my point is I'm not going to go into that future. I'm just not going to do it. I just won't buy games. It's just that simple. What did you say? I totally agree. I'm a huge advocate for game preservation. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I get it. I'm livid about it too. I'm not purchasing a single game key card. So no, I didn't buy it. I bought it digitally, and I accept the fact that one day I won't be able to play that game. So let's get over to this again.
Guess I'll just have to hold this.
Very deliberate style, obviously. Would this do anything that you'd want in an image like that, or would it be counterintuitive? Would it be counterproductive to that barrage or something?
Right.
Okay, what's he saying here? Nightbreaker, thank you, my friend.
Yeah, what's
Where
gonna
like
happen
that's a very deliberate style, obviously. Would this do anything that you'd want in an image like that, or would it be counterintuitive? Would it be counterproductive to that game's cel-shaded visual style?
Oh my god, he's finally talking about what they should have talked about right at the beginning of this video. Is it ruining the artist's vision?
What? Well, we won't be owning our own body soon. They found a way to print and copy from a fruit fry to the digital world, and it had self-conscious.
I know. I read something about Seals. Thank you for being a member for 18 months.
If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us.
Let's finish what he says here.
Would it actually produce an interesting result? Obviously, with Minecraft, that's something you can kind of get away with, but perhaps there are games where it would be less appropriate, and presumably developers would be not enabling it for those titles.
There you go. Remember, this is for the lazy developer who doesn't want to put the work in and wants to thin out their team and just go with the DSP5 route. This is not for people that want to create a stylistic game like Minecraft or a cel-shaded game or a stylistic game like that. DSP5 is not going to run well with that, visually speaking. It's going to look like shit.
Yeah, plenty of questions still
Absolutely,
remain, but
Jay, look at my sexy PC on Discord.
I will, my friend.
the impact of this technology, I don't think I've seen a demo quite as astonishing as this for quite some time. But I think that's all we've got to say about this right now, because we want to do a much bigger video based on everything we saw. We spent several hours looking at these demos and talking with the actual people who created.
And also, I just want to make something clear. Like, just because these guys are in Digital Foundry doesn't mean that they're the know-it-alls, say-it-all. You know, there's lots of people that understand computer graphics and hardware and software just as much as these guys. And I look forward to finding out what people truly feel about this, because these guys seem to be sucking off Nvidia here a little bit by saying it's a generational leap. it visually speaking does look incredible, but it's a generational leap that's at the cost of so many fucking jobs. You have no idea what this is going to do, especially if this is something that Bethesda is going to rely on in the future, which they've already proven. They're working with Nvidia to make this look as good as possible and make Starfield look like it should have looked when it came out. So rather than do development and R&D to get better lighting systems, they're just going to invest money into Nvidia's AI systems. That's unfortunately the future of graphics cards. Whether you like it or not, PC gaming, I consider to be the best place to play PC games, but there's a real war happening here. We're talking about ownership, but we're also talking about the vision of a developer and how far Nvidia can encroach on a vision of a developer, because either that developer wants to save money on the development of the game, but at a cost, because remember, AAA development at this point in time is extremely expensive. So there's lots of developers that are utilizing AI as a tool. But when you start to use AI as this vision that encroaches on the actual vision of the game, and it's no longer a tool but an asset in the game, and you've used AI to create that asset, let's also get into the fact that AI is based on the stolen property of other artists. All AI is doing is stealing from artists. It's stealing. It's flat out stealing. There's no denying it. So when you see an AI movie that's generated using whatever fucking model, it's stolen property. Why do you think you can't copyright AI movies right now? Why do you think that Hollywood's pushing back against it? So at the end of the day here, this is a huge clusterfuck that we're just going to have to deal with. I don't know how else to explain any of this in my opinion here. It's just, this is what we're dealing with. Nvidia wants to take this clearly autistic 22-year-old FBI agent who I'm absolutely in love with. They want to take this woman, and rather than have Capcom just, put a little bit more development into their games, make their games look better. RE Engine already looks incredible. Rather than do that, let's just make her look like a fucking supermodel. There you go. Flat out AI supermodel nonsense. Look at this. Oh. Dude, that's not her anymore. You know what I mean? So if Capcom wanted her to look like that, should have looked like that from the beginning. I don't like this enhancement idea. I don't like this idea that something comes along and covers up the assets to make it look like something different. That's the main problem with this. Look at it. That's not the same fucking character I fell in love with. It just isn't. Look at it. It's just not the same character. I'm sorry. All of a sudden she's a fucking supermodel? Dude. That's... Yeah, you could just turn it off. Remember, you just said something. You could just turn it off, though. Well, again, if you're not using it, you're going to be left in the dust. That's basically what the developers are saying today. I don't know why is anyone else seeing what I'm saying? Anyone else seeing what I'm seeing today? Essentially, they're saying if they're in support of this, they're saying that this is the future. This is what we're going to do. This is what we want to do with our games. Because if you don't use this, you get the old version of our games. And in Bethesda's point of view, you're getting the old shit. You're getting an old Skyrim that looks like a fucking 1992 game. That's what we're getting here. We're stuck with it now. So, at the end of the day, I am torn between some of this because some of this looks really good, but it's a shame that we have to do it on the backs of the people that we're going to be stepping on because they're going to be fucking homeless. It's sad. It's sad, but remember, nothing in life is fair. Nobody cares about you at the end of the day. You might have a wife and kids and all that stuff, but you know, we're all in this on our own. Not to get negative at the end here, but there'll never be peace. There'll never be some grand day where aliens show. I wish it would happen. Aliens show up and just create peace on Earth. That'd be cool, but it'll never happen. It's all about fucking money and greed. Sometimes a vision falls through the cracks and we get things that are incredible. Incredible pieces of art. Sometimes those things fall through the cracks and they do very well. But for the most part, this industry is about making fucking money. At the end of the day, these people don't fucking care about our integrity when it comes to art. They don't care about the people making the games. They don't care about the assets. They don't care about the passion that's put into some of this stuff. They don't care about that. They care about the fucking amount of money that's going to be in their wallets at the end of the day. And that, to me, is not what life should be about. Like Claire Obscure. What a fucking passion project, right? If I'm being honest, this will not bring down the cost of development and prevent future layoffs. It will not cost... No, because listen, all of the money that they were going to use on those people that get fired, they're going to pump it into this. So development costs will not go down. I agree with you because they're going to want to drive this. But the idea is that less people, less worries. That's what all companies think about. And then when it comes to the future preventing of layoffs, dude... Here. Let's just do something really quick here. And by the way, I want to be clear on something. I want to be very clear on something because there's people that have said, well, you're a hypocrite. When I make my thumbnails for this video, I'm using AI. Absolutely. And I'm using it to make fun of it. Absolutely. I absolutely love seeing how fucking terrible that stuff is. It's so fucking bad. It's so fucking bad. Of course I have over 25 years experience in Photoshop. I could Photoshop your dick back onto your body if you cut it off. I'm that good at Photoshop. I'm doing it to prove a point because I'm a bit of a troll. I guess you guys should know that. This stream had a thumbnail? Yeah, I put thumbnails on these fuckers. K-Nubs, thank you. Do I use AI? Abso-fucking-lutely. I use AI as a tool, not as a creation tool. I use it as a tool, not to create anything that's visual or anything that I ever speak or anything I ever write. That's horseshit. I use it for searches, essentially, for when I'm doing research. And even at that part, it's not even that fucking great. But when I want to look up quick statistics, like, hey, gather me all of the fucking numbers that Mario has ever done. You know, how many copies have sold. Rather than me do it, yeah, it's a great tool for that. That's just the future of search. That's what AI is used for. But when you use AI to change an artistic vision like this and turn this character from a fucking 22-year-old, extremely awkward character into this, essentially a fucking supermodel, that's where it crosses a line that I'm not going to go on to. I'm okay with that. I'll take a pass on that one. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Free Hug says, and I agree with what he's saying here, just like every other tool that was ever used, it's a tool. AI is like a toolbox. Done. Here we go.
Absolutely again.
Now, Nightbreaker, thank you for the support. He says, AI is a toolbox, but your toolbox doesn't need to create things for you. Absolutely agree with that. That's the issue we have right now. Yes. Let me just say this. Uncreative people right now have the ability to create the most bland vanilla nonsense you've ever seen in your life. That's the problem here. You know, it's like, remember this theory? Back in the day, if you're a filmmaker, you heard this a lot. people were saying, hey, like the future of digital taking away from filmmaking on actual film, that's an issue, right? And then even Steven Spielberg said, I think he said this, unless I'm wrong about it. I think he did say this. He said, no, it's about the tools and how you use them, right? It's not that digital makes everybody a filmmaker. Anybody could write a book. Anybody could write a book right now. Stephen King said this, but not everyone's an author. It's just the tools we have. Anybody could write a book, but if you use AI to write a book, it's fucking terrible. No one's going to buy it. So what he's saying is that AI is a tool. It's a toolbox. Don't use it to create things. Use it to be more creative. It's like your toolbox saying, this is this thing, this is how this thing is built, and you were wrong. Exactly. I completely agree with what he is saying here. The moment that AI is saying to you, no, do it this way, that's, and you go with that route, that's where I cross the line with that shit. So that's how I feel about AI. I have not used a single frame of AI in my filmmaking. I have not used a single frame, a single ounce of energy to make anything for my movie using AI. Everything in the movie is literally digital effects that I paid somebody to do or physical effects that we did on set. I have a scene in my movie. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, completely and utterly honest with you, because I like to be open and honest, unlike other people that like to lie. That's why I always say that. But listen to this. I had the opportunity to use AI in my movie making, and you guys wouldn't even have known I used it whatsoever, to do an appliance that was on somebody's neck. I'm not going to give away what happens, but somebody's neck, blood gushing out of it. I could have used AI for the total cost, and I'm not making this up, you can look it up yourself, the total cost of about $200 to do the effect. And nobody in this chat would have known that I used AI on it. Nobody. It looked incredible. Or I could pay $1,500 and get a makeup artist in there to do a prosthetic that was about this big on my actor's neck for an 8-second clip. Well, guess what I did? I paid the fucking $1,500 because it looked way better than the AI. Okay, James Cameron, thank you. You know, Jay, but why? Because there's an artistry to it. You know, the digital effects that are left behind using AI look like shit. Now, I am assuming most of you wouldn't even have noticed, but I would have. And that's where it's called principles, and you stand on them when you care about them. Now, to the people who don't understand principles, I don't know what to say to you, but eventually you'll figure out that you need to stand on your principles because that's who makes you who you are. So I'm not going to fire somebody just because I'm a cheap fuck. I'd rather work with somebody because also there's something in life called enjoyment, something called memories, you know, magical memories that you can only create when you do it with other people. And I'm not talking about having sex with Booch on a Wednesday.
Boochie.
Well, maybe I am. That's a good memory. But I'm talking about being there for your life. Having the memory of working with somebody who was physically there and making the blood gush out of somebody's fucking throat. I'll never experience that again. I have that experience now. I feel like I did something. I proved something. I didn't just fucking push a button and say, cause the blood to pop out here. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, volation, it depends how bad the AI is, to be honest with you. So it's like, yeah, Siegfried says, but why? It goes back to the absolute argument that Cypher had in The Matrix when he's eating the steak. He says it smells like steak, tastes like steak. What's the fucking difference? Shake your fist and say you're not using AI. I'm not going to use AI in my movie. Here, I'll show you something.
Love the booch. Come
the
deep
booch.
inside the booch.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to do that to the booch. Let me show you something. You know, we're going to just show this quickly because this is interesting. Ready?
Woke
Watch
up this morning, saw one of my videos.
All right, see this? This video right here. 100% AI generated. In fact,
views. I was like, hell yeah. Woke up this morning, saw one of my videos got 5.
AI generated shit.
I'm scared of all digital money central bank.
AI generated shit. AI generated shit.
Why do you post every day when you barely get 100 likes?
100 likes means 100 people.
That right there, that's, well, when I say AI, they're using actual videos. So they're not AI, they're not using AI to make those videos, just to be clear. They're using either stock footage or footage that they've produced themselves. But I don't know if you guys know the statistics on this, but I think hang on, let me double check this. Let me double check this before I say it. How much of the content on YouTube, YouTube Shorts is AI generated? Hang on, let's get an actual number on that. Okay. Right now, the best current estimate on how much of AI is being affected in the videos is 22% of the videos you see on YouTube Shorts are completely AI generated. 22%. Hang on. How much AI content is on YouTube? %22 of what you're seeing is bullshit. And that's probably not, yeah, you're 100% rent. That's probably, how much of it is stolen? 100%. AI is stolen. All right, so here, listen to this. So this is interesting. Roughly 500 hours of video are being uploaded to YouTube every minute. That equals about 700, almost between 700 and 1.2 million hours of new content every day on the platform. Now, research is showing that YouTube feeds around about 33% of the videos recommended to new users were AI generated or heavily automated AI slop. Are you fucking kidding me? So on the main YouTube, every single day, right now, as you're watching YouTube, up to 33% of it, every single day for the whole usage of YouTube that day of uploads is AI generated slop. That is fucking insane. That means that if you convert that to individual videos, assuming every video is 12 minutes, 3 to 5 minute videos uploaded daily overall. Okay. 600,000 to 1.6 million of them involve AI. Dude, these numbers are fucking insane. Up to 33% of every video uploaded on YouTube every single day is AI. Generated AI slop. Dude, that's getting out of hand. You know, that's getting fucking ridiculous. So basically, YouTube's also cooked. So let me just say this. There's a reason why my show's been popular still for the last 2 years. 2 years and 3 months. That's because I'm fucking real. Live streaming is going to get more and more and more popular because people will want to talk to real people. I really believe that. I really believe that I'm not going to be affected by this YouTube nonsense because people want to talk to somebody real. Unless Jeff shows up and does this before one of my streams.
If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us.
So, basically what that's saying is YouTube is being cooked by AI. They got a big YouTube AI problem right now. Seal says, I'm scared of digital money in banks. Dude, don't even get me started down that fucking hole.
I am scared of all digital money central bank.
Dude, don't even get me started on that hole. You think it's bad now? Just wait.
Hi, as a film guy, were you ever into stop motion, claymation, or cartoons?
Oh, yeah.
If not, would you like to? Appreciate you, dude.
Volation, thank you, dude. Absolutely, dude. So stop motion growing up, I love stop motion, dude. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so most of the visual effects before CG, like Terminator 2 was the one that blew the fucking doors off that. Jurassic Park for me is also blew the doors off CGI. I mean, that was like when I realized as a kid, I was like, oh, this is a totally different thing than what I'm seeing in my movies, right? Stop motion animation up until that point was basically Star Wars and everything that I grew up on. It was so important to me because I understood how it was made. I looked into it as a child. I understood that it was frames per second and that they were essentially taking a frame. And that's why motion pictures are called motion pictures, because movies are just motion pictures. That's why they're called the motion pictures. As a kid, I never put two and two together to understand that a motion picture was literally a person or an object or a scenery being taken photos of. Boom, 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 boom. And it was 24 frames of that per second. And when you view that at 24 frames per second, you get a moving image. I never understood that as a kid. So when I looked into it, my friend, that's when I was like, oh, stop motion is trying to reenact that. They're trying to make those 24 frames by simply moving an object. And I love that theory back in the day. And then I realized that there's also something called motion blur, and that you couldn't achieve motion blur in stop motion. So I started to get into filmmaking because of exactly that. And I started to understand how cameras work. And obviously Steven Spielberg and E.T. and Jurassic Park were major influences on me, including John Carpenter. And, you know, the list goes on forever. But when it comes to filmmaking, thanks for asking. I love talking about that stuff, you know, and then it translates into video games like claymation, like Clay Fighters. I remember looking at that as a kid on the Super Nintendo, and I thought, holy shit. When they started to implement the clay design, which was not computer graphics, it was photographs that were edited, and they were doing, you know, and then all of a sudden pixel art came out, right? Dude, I loved all that stuff. And then cartoons, man, animation, same idea. I loved cartoons, dude. For me growing up, I think my favorite cartoons would be Batman the Animated Series. Was definitely a big one for me. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a massive show for me growing up. Obviously, we've got, you know, the staples of animation out of the 80s, which was like G.I. Joe, DuckTales, you know, all of the Disney animation shows that were coming out. I love that stuff. Alice says, what if it turns out that Jay isn't real? Darkwing Duck, Cowabunga, dude. So the reason why I sometimes talk like I'm out of the 80s, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, is because of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I grew up talking like that. Like, man, I used to talk like that. I absolutely, when I was a kid of the 80s. In 1987, when I was like 7, 9, that's when those things really embedded into me. I love the 80s, man. Yeah, dude. Free hugs. Exactly. Like, I love... So, that's how I got into my filmmaking whole kick. And that's how I got into... You Talk Like a Surfer, dude. Yes, I did. Kinda. I honestly did kind of talk like a surfer, dude, man. Like, dude, we used to talk like this all the time. That's why I always call you guys dudes and man and stuff. Because that's still in my vocabulary. You know, you'll notice that sometimes I have a speech impediment. I gotta tell you something I've never told you guys, but because of my anxiety and my, I would just say anxiety disorder. I have a generalized anxiety disorder. Sometimes you'll notice I trip over my words. I have a stutter because of my anxiety. So if you've ever wondered why I talk like that sometimes, and sometimes I talk like a little bit of a stutter, dude, it's because of my anxiety. It's Michelangelo. Dude. Like, dude, this is why I made fun of Metal Jesus. If you guys watch my old show from like 6 years ago, ready? I used to do this. JKB back with another episode. When I say that, that's me being a Ninja Turtle. But it's also me making fun of Metal Jesus. Ready? Watch. This is how I used to intro my show on the well, here. You guys ready? Here is the big secret that nobody knows. I've already shown this before, but back in the day, I decided that I was just going to essentially be, I would make fun of Metal Jesus. And here, I'll show you. I gotta find a video where I say it properly. Let's see.
JKB back with another episode today.
Okay, I'm not doing it as crazy as I normally do there. But watch this. So there's my JKB. Here's Metal Jesus. Here's his intro.
Metal Jesus here, and I'm back again, and today...
JKB, and I'm back with another episode.
JKB back with
The secret is out. The secret is out. I absolutely stole Metal Jesus' intro on purpose to make fun of him. Not make fun of him, just to kind of poke him a little as a troll. JKB, and I'm back with another... It's Metal Jesus. Metal Jesus, and I'm back with another episode. It's the same intro. I just stole it. There you go.
Congratulations.
Keep coming.
And now my new intro on the show is going to be this. Ready? Every intro, I'm going to start the show like this.
If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us.
Ready? Here it goes.
Keep coming.
What's up? What's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here. What's up, gamers? JKB here. I should do that. How is everybody? I appreciate you. I was Metal JKB. Did I accidentally do that? JKB, Metal JKB, and I'm back with another episode. Yeah, so there, the answer is, I was making fun of Metal Jesus. Metal Jesus rocks. So listen, I want to say, and I appreciate everyone tuning in right now. We're going to close this off now because Review Tech USA is streaming and he stole my audience. That's a joke.
Keep coming.
Oh my.
But no, joking aside, tomorrow on the show, we're going to be talking, and I hope you'll be here for it. 5 p.m. EST. I appreciate you guys so much as always. You're legendary. Thank you to all the new subs. You're also legendary. Keep in mind, here's the plan. I'm going to have a schedule, working on it today. Tonight, I'll get that out soon. But listen, guys, moving forward, I'm live at 5, basically every day. JKB, live at 5. Wait, did you ever call yourself Jesus for a while? No. Metal Jesus? Metal Jesus? I never did that. You guys called me Jesus. So, guys, this Thursday, we're playing Crimson Desert on the show. Friday, I'm off, unfortunately. And then Saturday, we're getting back into Resident Evil. So get ready for that. Vapus and I will be back. It'll probably be a 7-hour stream again. And we'll try to beat Resident Evil. Maybe. I don't know if we'll get to the end. But this Thursday, I will be playing Crimson Desert on PC on the show. So tune in for that. Hopefully, whatever that is, what's it called again? Davaro doesn't tank my frames per second like everyone thinks it's going to. And we'll have a fun time. We'll have a good time. So who's still here? This is totally tubular. So guys, enjoy the politics and DSP. I love you guys. And just remember this. Go tell Rich I found his mushroom in the woods.
If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us.
Canadian women will let you finish in the mouth.
Where have you been? Where have you been? love you guys. Hang on. Hang on. I love you. Here, this is for you guys.
Rave song for Satan.
No, you guys didn't get the rave song today. I'm sorry. You didn't do it. But you know what? I love to give back to the community, so hopefully some of the new subs get this. No, it's not my music. Here we go. Love you guys. Enjoy Review Tech USA and politics and DSP. Love you guys. No, he'll probably talk about the Nvidia stuff, right? Oh shit! Back to back? You. Raw Dakota, we're now at 18. Thank you, buddy. Just want to say also, thank you, Raw Dakota. He's a man of orangeness. He's a good-looking man. He's a very sexual man. I love the guy. So, see you guys for tomorrow, 5 p.m. EST.
Put on some crunk music, white boy. Turn up already.
If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us.
Jay's pussy. Jay's pussy.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Jay's pussy.
Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Thank you guys. Raw Dakota, I love you. Jason, I'm gonna put some music on. I did. This is the music you get. Love you.